We have gathered here today not to mourn, but to celebrate the life of Lienne Legaspi. Lienne, otherwise known as Yen by her family or Li by her friends, was born on June 12, 2004 in Asian Hospital, Muntinlupa City. She is the third and last daughter of Antonella and Carlos Legaspi. She was the baby sister to Serena and Maria Legaspi. She was a mom to her dog Kiko, and she was a friend to those she cared about. It is such a tragedy that she has gone so soon. But let us not dwell on the negative. Instead, let us remember the fond memories we have of her. Lienne was a loving person to those she cared about. She may have been a bit shy, but she was easy to get along with once you got to know her. Her friends remember her to be someone who would go out of their way to help and comfort them. They remember her as someone who loved to smile. Yes, she had times when she felt down, but she would not let those feelings get in the way of her friendships. She used to conceal her feelings and keep them to herself because she didn't want to burden the people she cared about, which sometimes makes you wonder how she truly felt. She loved her family so much. She was very affectionate towards her parents. She would always give them hugs and kisses on their cheek. And since she was 10 and 11 years younger than her older sisters, she was treated like the baby her whole life. She loved her dogs so much, like a mother to her children. So much that she would sneak them into her room right before bed all the time because she didn't want them to feel alone. Lienne's childhood was a happy one. She always played outside with her neighborhood playmates up until nightfall, and she would come back all dirty and tired, but she still had that smile on her face that just never seemed to rub off. She was very lively at home, but when it came to school, she had a hard time making friends. And when she did, they never really stuck around that much. Instead of spending time at recess with her friends, she would stay at her table and draw instead. As we know, Lienne loved drawing from a young age. It was sort of therapeutic for her. It kept her company. When it came to high school, she had the same sort of problem. Friends were difficult for her, especially because she was a transferee student at the time. But by the end of junior high school, she made a couple of friends that she was so grateful for. During high school, she developed a love for dancing, which really pushed her out of her comfort zone. Performing on stage helped her become more confident with herself. Lienne was always helpful. She would help in any way she could. She always had a hard time saying no after all. I wish she did what she wanted instead of what others wanted, though. I ask myself all the time, why did she always keep quiet all the time? Sadly, that is only a question she can answer. Actually, there are so many unanswered questions she left behind. Too many to count. And it'll be a very long time before any of us will be able to hear those answers. There was one thing I clearly remember about her. She always used to say that her number one virtue was kindness. It was something her mother taught her from a young age. It was something she would constantly remind herself to be kind. I think that's what she would want for everyone. She would want everyone to treat each other with kindness, because to her, being kind and spreading love has no downside. There is no flaw in kindness. She believed one act of kindness could change the world like a domino effect. Here's a quote by Barbara De Angelis: "Love and kindness are never wasted. They always make a difference. They bless the one who receives them, and they bless you, the giver." We have lost a wonderful soul, a soul we shall always be grateful to have crossed paths with, a soul to be remembered in our hearts.